Hello everyone, and welcome to my YNR Daily Update channel. Imagine finding out that the man you've called dad for your entire life isn't actually your father. Now, imagine that man is the ruthless, all-powerful Victor Newman. That changes everything, doesn't it? It's not just a little family drama. It's a total earthquake that levels the ground everyone in Genoa City is standing on. We've seen a lot of twists on The Young and the Restless, but this one? This is the kind of secret that burns the whole house down. Was this just a mistake from decades ago? Or was it a choice? Maybe it was a way to keep the Newman name on top at any cost. Whatever it is, the truth is finally coming out. And the debris? It's going to bury everyone we know. Well, think about it. For years, Nicholas Newman has been the prince of the Newman Empire. He's fought Victor. He's tried to be his own man. But at the end of the day, that Newman blood was always his identity. But what happens when that blood isn't just common, it actually belongs to Victor's biggest rival? Nikki Newman is about to drop a bomb on Jack Abbott that makes a relapse or a corporate takeover look like a walk in the park. She's telling Jack that Nick is his biological son. Can you even imagine the look on Jack's face? The funny thing is, the timing for this couldn't be worse, or maybe it's perfect. We are looking at the week of May 11th to 15th, and Genoa City is basically a powder keg. Victor is out there acting like a mumbly lunatic and hiring people like Christine to hunt down Phyllis. He's obsessed with control. He's obsessed with his God complex. And right in the middle of this, Nikki is finally at her breaking point. She's watched Victor push their children too far for too long. She's seen the damage his tough love does. When a woman like Nikki, who has basically been Victor's shock absorber for years, finally finds her voice, she doesn't just talk. She screams. This confession to Jack isn't just a secret. It's an act of emotional arson, but why now? Why would Nikki do this to her own son right when he's struggling the most? If you've been watching, you know Nick is in a really dark place. He's visibly struggling to stay sober. He's jonesing 4 pills. He's popping fentanyl just to get through the day. It's heartbreaking to watch a man like Nick spiral like this. But maybe that's exactly why Nikki is talking. She sees that being a Newman is literally killing him. She sees that Victor's shadow is too heavy. By giving him to Jack, she's trying to give him a father who actually cares about the person, not just the legacy. Do you think she's right to do it? Or is she just making a bad situation even more dangerous? It's a huge gamble. If Jack realizes Nick is his son, the whole power structure of the city flips upside down. Jack has spent his life feeling untethered. He's been searching for a connection to something real. He's been digging through his mother's old diaries and looking at photos of the chancellors, trying to find where he belongs. He wants a family that has wealth and prestige, but what he really needs is an anchor. Finding out he has a grown son who's been raised by his worst enemy? That's the ultimate anchor. It gives him an instant legacy. But it also gives him a son who is currently an addict in the middle of a relapse. That's a lot for anyone to handle. Let's look at the history here. Because DNA doesn't lie, but families definitely get tangled up. Think back to 2006. That was a wild time. The paternity tests back then were inconclusive. Nick saw the results, but he just told everyone he was the father and married Phyllis. He was grieving his daughter Cassie and he didn't want to lose another child. But we also have to remember Sharon. Sharon has a history of messing with these things. She switched Summer's results once because she was off her meds and desperate to get Nick back. She wanted to fix fate. She thought some destruction was necessary to do right by all. So, who's to say the truth wasn't buried under years of lies and inconclusive paperwork? It's like the family tree in this town is so twisted it would give a professional search angel a massive headache. You've got the Abbotts and the Newmans all mixed up already. Ashley Abbott found out John wasn't her real dad, and it shattered her. Now Jack is going through the same thing. He's laser-focused on finding his roots. And Nikki's confession? It's the final piece of the puzzle. But it's a piece that doesn't fit the picture Victor has spent 40 years painting. Victor doesn't just want loyalty. He wants a bloodline that reflects his own greatness. If he loses Nick, he loses his future. He becomes an orphan all over again, and we know how much he hates that. What do you think Victor will do when he finds out? He's already tough loving Nick and having blunt conversations about his behavior. But if Nick isn't his son, that tough love looks a lot more like simple cruelty. Victor has treated Nick like a pawn in his games with Phyllis and the company. He's hired Christine to go down for her crimes, and he doesn't care who gets caught in the crossfire. He thinks he's protecting the family. But he's actually the one tearing it apart. Nikki sees that. She sees that Phyllis is poison and that Victor is a mumbly lunatic. She's tired of being the spine for a man who has no heart, and then you have Nick. My heart really goes out to him this week. He's struggling so hard with his recovery that even Adam is noticing. Adam is outright asking him if he's using again. And what do addicts do? They lie. They deny. Nick is telling everyone he's just hangry while he's secretly popping pills in the cafe. It's a classic case of a man who has lost his identity. He doesn't know who he is, so he tries to numb the pain. If he finds out his entire life has been a lie, that he's not even a Newman, will that be the thing that saves him? Or will it push him off the ledge for good? The funny thing is, Jack might actually be the best person to help him. Jack has a soft place in his heart for addicts because he's been there himself. He's been in that dark place where things are out of control. He knows what it's like to have the world look at you like you're a failure. If Jack realizes Nick is his son, he's not just going to see a rival's kid. He's going to see a mirror of his own struggles. He's going to want to be the guiding light that John Abbott was for him. But can he do that while he's also laser-focused on revenge against Victor? That's the big question. Genoa City is full of people making dangerous deals this week. Nick is striking a deal on Friday that could hurt his family and his recovery. Is he buying more drugs? Or is he trying to buy a sense of belonging? He's also dealing with the return of Matt Clark. Matt Clark is like a ghost from the past that nobody wanted to see. He says he has amnesia, but nobody believes him. Victor is out there leading a manhunt, acting like the hero. But the real threat isn't Matt Clark. It's the truth that Nikki is carrying. Think about the psychology of this for a second. Why would Nikki hold this secret for so long? Maybe she was afraid of Victor. Maybe she was trying to protect Nick from the Abbott/Newman war. But by keeping the secret, she's created a twisted tree that's starting to choke everyone. Characters like Katie and Abby are already connected to every major branch of this tree: the Newmans, the Abbotts, the Fosters, the Reeds. It's like a family reunion that nobody actually wants to attend. If Nick is an Abbott, the two biggest dynasties in town aren't just rivals. They are the same family. And that family is a total mess. The fans are already debating this like crazy. Some people think Sharon is the town crazy for her part in all the paternity switches over the years. Others think Phyllis is the only rational person left in this whole story. And then there's Nikki. Some fans are calling her a slob or saying she has no morals for her past. But I disagree. I think she's a mother who is desperately trying to save her child. She's seen the heart-wrenching death of Cassie and how it changed everything. She knows that losing a child is the worst thing that can happen. And she's watching Nick die a little bit every day under Victor's roof. Is it possible that Nikki turns to Jack because he's the only one who is lucid enough to help? Victor is spinning out. He's hiring security teams and plotting against Phyllis. He's standing firm and refusing to play nice. But Jack is different. Even though he's an opportunist with a heart, he actually cares about family. He's laser-focused on his revenge, but finding a son would change his priorities. He wouldn't just want Chancellor Industries anymore. He'd want a future for his boy. This whole week feels like a reset button for the entire show. We've been watching the same Nick-Tor cycle for over 30 years. They get together, they break up, they reconcile, they repeat. It's a circular cycle that Melody Thomas Scott says fans love. But maybe it's time to break the circle. Maybe the show needs to beef up its storylines with something truly permanent. A paternity reveal like this isn't just a twist. It's a complete structural change. It forces everyone to play new notes. It makes veteran actors like Peter Bergman and Eric Braeden dig into something deeper, and don't even get me started on the Friday cliffhanger. Spoilers say Nick makes a dangerous deal and Jack flips the script on Patty Williams. It's going to be edge-of-your-seat drama where nobody comes out unscathed. If Nikki's confession comes out on Tuesday, by Friday the entire city is going to be in a state of high stakes and full-blown crisis. It's the kind of week where people say things they probably can't take back. Can you imagine the fallout for Summer and Noah? They've grown up thinking they are Newmans through and through. If their dad is an Abbott, their entire world is a lie too. Summer has already had enough trauma with car accidents, brain swelling, and being guilt-ridden over her past. She's been a feisty and rebellious teenager who had to grow up too fast. Finding out her biological grandfather is Jack Abbott would be a total system failure for her. She's already defensive about her family. This would be the final straw. The funny thing is, the writers have left these little secrets in place for years, and now they are finally picking them up. Secrets are what keep a soap opera going. They create the conflict and high drama that we all crave. And this paternity secret? It's the biggest one of all. It's relevant to every single character on the show. It touches on Cassie's death, the Newman legacy, and the Abbott future. It's the ultimate winning move for the writers, but let's get real for a second. Is this going to be a heart-based, family-based story? Or is it going to be a dangerous mess of revenge and pill-popping? It's probably both. That's why we love this show. It takes these very real human experiences, like DNA revelations and addiction, and turns them into fictional threads that mirror our own questions about who we are. We all want to know who shares our bloodline. We all want to know if we belong. And for Nick Newman, the answer to those questions is about to be shocking and stunning. I keep thinking about what Sharon said in that interview. She mentioned that some level of destruction is necessary to do right by all. Is that what Nikki is thinking? Does she think that by destroying the Newman brand, she's doing the right thing for her son? It's a very spiritual way of looking at it, like she's trying to set things right for her destiny. But destiny in Genoa City is usually pretty messy. It usually involves spiraling and relapses and dangerous deals. What if Jack doesn't believe her at first? Jack is laser-focused on his revenge. He might think Nikki is just trying to manipulate him. After all, Nikki is under her daddy's thumb and Victor is a mumbly lunatic. But Nikki's honesty might actually strengthen their relationship. It might give them a rare moment of peace in the middle of all the chaos. Or it might just make Jack even more determined to take Victor down. If Victor has been raising Jack's son as a Newman, that is the ultimate theft. And Jack Abbott doesn't let a theft like that go unpunished. The whole thing is just a tangled web that the writers are weaving. You've got Phyllis setting traps, Patty Williams pleading her case, and Kane making big leaps for Lily. It's like everyone is moving at full speed ahead toward a cliff. And the cliff is Nikki's confession. Once those words are out of her mouth, there is no going back. The social and power structures are changing. The twisted tree is getting even more twisted. I'm really curious to see how Nick handles this. He's already visibly struggling. He's twitching outside and ranting about Matt Clark. He's making dangerous deals. If he finds out he's an Abbott, does he stop the dangerous deals? Or does he lean into the Abbott playboy history that Jack used to have? Does he become a man of the hour like Jack? Or does he just disappear into his addiction? It's a heartbreaking situation for any mother to watch. And what about the corporate side of things? Jack wants to pick up at the corporate level where he left off. If he has a Newman-raised son, he has an insider at Newman Enterprises. He could take over the whole thing from the inside out. He could turn the Newman empire into an Abbott annex. That would be the ultimate revenge against Victor. It would be the kind of hostile takeover that Victor never saw coming. The funny thing is, the fans are the ones who really know the truth. A poll back in 2013 showed that 76% of fans believed Summer was an Abbott. People have been questioning the paternity for years. We know that the 2006 results were inconclusive. We know that DNA doesn't lie, but family sure can get tangled. So, when Nikki finally talks, it's not just a shock for Jack. It's a winning move for the fans who have been waiting for the truth for decades, but is it the real truth? Or is it just another gimmick or cheap stunt to get ratings? Some people think the writers are just mocking a serious mental illness by using bipolar or addiction as a tool. Others think the show has lost its way with all the revisionist history. But I think it's just part of the roller coaster of being a soap fan. We go on the journey because we care about these characters. We want to see them find happiness, even if it's through a heart-wrenching revelation. So, here's what I'm wondering. Is Nikki doing this for Nick? Or is she doing it for herself? She's at the end of her rope. She's tired of Victor's insane latest plan. She's tired of him threatening people like Lily and her children. By telling Jack the truth, she's finally standing up to the mumbly lunatic she married. She's regaining her agency and her spine. It's a massive risk, but maybe it's the only way she can survive Victor Newman. And what about Jack? Peter Bergman says Jack is eager for an answer. He's grabbing on to any possibility of belonging. If he realizes Nick is his son, he's not just finding a child. He's finding himself. He's finding a version of the Abbott legacy that isn't untethered. He's finding a reason to stop being a playboy and start being a dad. But can he be the dad Nick needs right now? Or is he too laser-focused on revenge? The tension in Genoa City is at an all-time high. You've got big secrets coming out, baby drama, and edge-of-your-seat moments. Every show is stepping it up this week. And the center of it all is a shocking confession that could change everything. It's the kind of week you do not want to miss. Think about the irony here. Victor is out there hunting Matt Clark because he thinks Matt is a threat to his family. He's determined to take back his legacy. But while he's looking at the external enemy, he's completely blind to the internal betrayal. His own wife is handing his legacy over to his enemy. It's a tragic and shocker move. It's the kind of thing that makes Victor roll over in his grave even while he's still alive. And Nick? Poor Nick. He's struggling with his sobriety and twitching outside. He's making dangerous deals on Friday. He's caught in the middle of a war between two fathers who both have contempt for each other. If he finds out the truth, does he feel guilt-ridden? Or does he feel liberated? Does he finally have a chance to grow in a different direction? It's a compelling and angsty story for him. I want to know what you guys think. Is this the best twist in YNR history? Or is it a revisionist mess? Do you think Nick should be an Abbott? Or should he stay a Newman? And what about Nikki? Is she a hero or a snake? Well, think about it. If your son was dying under the thumb of a mumbly lunatic, what would you do? Would you keep the secret? Or would you burn the whole house down to save him? The shocking confession is coming on Tuesday, May 12th. Jack is going to be speechless. Victor is going to be stunned. And we are all going to be watching to see how this twisted tree finally breaks. It's a major development that could change their relationship for good. We've seen a lot of twisted tree branches in this town. We've seen secrets and scandals and betrayal. We've seen people abducted and in anaphylactic shock and comatose. But we've never seen anything quite like this. A paternity reveal that hits at the very core of the show's identity. It's brilliant and relevant to every single character. It's a winning move that has us all talking. So, as we head toward the Friday cliffhanger, keep your eyes on Nick. Watch the dangerous deal he makes. Watch how he strikes a deal with someone who might be his salvation or his destruction. And watch Jack. Watch how he flips the script and stays one step ahead of the chaos. This week is going to be an emotional ride. And I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about it. Before I go, I've got two big questions for you to chew on. First, do you think Nikki is actually telling the truth? Or is she just manipulating Jack because she's at the end of her rope with Victor? Sometimes in Genoa City, the truth is just another weapon. What do you think? And second, if Nick finds out Jack is his father, do you think he should leave the Newman ranch and move into the Abbott mansion? Could you see him working at Jabot? Or is he too Newman to ever change? It's a total identity crisis, and I want to know whose side you're on. This week is going to be shocking, stunning, and heartbreaking all at once. It's the kind of drama that only the young and the restless can deliver. So, make sure you don't miss a single minute. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the latest spoilers, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you're new here, subscribe and turn on those notifications. We are covering every twist, every turn, and every shocking confession as it happens. Leave a comment below with your favorite heart emoji so I know you're part of the family. Red for the Newmans, or maybe gold for the Abbotts? Let's see who has the most fans in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, for listening, and for being part of the conversation. I'll be back with another update as soon as the next bomb drops. Until then, keep searching for your truth and stay tuned for more drama.